morning, everybody. Sure hope you all having a great day today. All right, had my nuts, got my coffee. We're going to jump into this American Truck Simulator. We're going to take a little trip down the road. All right, all right, all right. It's a gorgeous morning here in East Texas. A beautiful Tyler, Texas. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We're running right at 85 on the back porch in the shade. Yes, we are. All right, all right, all right. Okay. It's been a little bit since I've been in here, but we're gonna make a showing anyway. All right. Drowned it on my coffee or something. All right. Now where we at? Where we going? I ain't got a clue. Like I say, it's been a little while since I've been in the truck, so yes, sir. I must say I do enjoy my coffee. I had that hurricane blow through a couple of days ago, and well, we was on the clean side of it, so we got a little tree damage, but nothing major. Nothing like Houston and the Bay City's got, but we're thankful for that. I believe my mom and sister are still without power. All right. We sitting here in Corpus, it looks like. All right, so let's see what we got in Corpus here. Okay, confirm a quick. Okay, evidently they had a update. Okay, there we go. Now let's take a look at the job market. Thinking, thinking, thinking. Always thinking. Okay, let's see here. Well, we got a rail car mover going to Salt Lake City. That's further than I want to go. Because I do got to remember that, uh, here we go. Excuse me. Oh, mercy, excuse me, excuse me. Oh, mercy. I'm going to grab these Western Stars and take them down to Brownsville. Alright, we'll grab the Western Stars. We'll take them down to Brownsville. Back when I drove, I always wanted to get in a Wonder Woman, but, well, none of the companies I worked for ever had one that I know of. They are some very nice trucks. I'm going to have to get a Western Star and we'll go riding in it here one day. Trucks today are not what they were when I drove. and I always drove the older equipment. Uh, I never was fortunate to drive
Pedal to the metal, man.
new or like new equipment. So, with that said, we're going to grab these Western Stars right here. As soon as it pops up, we'll grab these Western Stars. Come on.
Time to hit the
Like I
road.
said, never drove the new equipment or like new. It's always been the
Never
older
mind.
trucks
I'll find a new route.
that were
Turn right.
used, abused, reused,
Here we are.
re-abused.
Safe and sound.
So, yeah. I never drove a truck that didn't have a problem. I mean, technically, some of the trucks I drove shouldn't have been on the road in the first place. Now, does that mean that they're not safe? No. It's just not everything worked. I had one truck I drove for just a very short time. The only way you could keep the air up on that truck was to rev the engine, set the throttle control where
Time to get the job
you
done.
were even at an idle, you was running 1400 RPMs. So a truck's not supposed to idle at no 1400. That's a sweet spot for most trucks to shift gears. But nevertheless, that's what we had to do with that one particular truck. Now, we didn't
Turn
have
left.
that, wasn't a truck we used as a normal. It was mostly used for a yard truck. But now and again, you'd have to take that truck a couple 100 miles or so,
Get ready to turn right.
bring it back. But most of the time, it was just
Turn right.
used for jockeying trailers in the yard. So, yeah, it was a definite beater. Okay.
Get ready to
And
turn
I had
left.
this other truck. Boy, howdy. You talk about rough
Turn
riding.
left.
It was all spring suspension. And spring suspension on a
Keep
big
left.
truck
And then exit left.
is actually
Exit left.
pretty good. I mean, the springs over air ride, you're looking at two different animals. I mean,
Keep
furnace.
right, and then exit right.
But spring ride will give you
Exit right.
a moderate ride, but in actuality it is a much rougher ride. And there's more to operating a spring ride diesel truck. I mean, there's a lot more you need to look at. Uh, yeah, it's just a whole different animal.
Keep left.
Now that old cab override road, she was spring riding in the front. She had the air suspension in the rear, so she did have a few modifications. The drives were spring ride, I mean air ride, but the front was all spring ride. One thing about that cab over that I did not like was the fact that not all the gauges worked all the time. Now they all worked, but when it was cold outside, one gauge would read normal for air pressure, and the other gauge never would work. Now, once it got warm outside, both gauges worked just fine. Well, we're about running that red light. Sitting here jaw jacking. And what a lot of people don't realize is 90% of a truck's problem with air issues is a broke line or a hole in the line. But all too often, and I would say especially today, because they just don't teach enough in these driving schools for these new people that have no idea what they're getting into. Another big problem is, oh, you want me to stop for your vehicle inspection? Well, we'll do that. Get out of the way, truck. Let me get over here. Yes, that was totally an illegal
Okay,
turn,
let's find a new
but
route.
we made it work. All right. These driving schools, boy howdy, they teach you the basics. They teach you how to back a trailer up. I decided one time
Get ready to turn left.
I let my CDLs go for about a year.
Turn
I took
left.
a year off. Actually, it was about a year and a half. And I was just tired. I wanted to get off the road. Well, I wasn't making enough money to support my lifestyle at that time. So I decided, well, I better go back. Well, when it come time to go back, I had to retake the driving test. I didn't have a vehicle to take the test in. And this was back in the day. And they didn't have these places where you could rent a truck for to take your test in. Today, they got them all over. But back then, that you either had a truck or you didn't. And if you didn't have a truck, you had to go to these driving schools. And I tell you what, I went through their course, and it was shocking, especially to me already being an experienced driver. Uh, I could, I already knew the ropes. I knew the ins and outs. I knew more about driving truck than most of those kids. I call them kids because, it is a driving school. Now, there were guys in there and a few gals, but it was mostly guys. And a lot of them guys were in their 30s, 40s. And at that time, I was in my 30s and 40s. So, yeah. I still call them kids because of the school thing. Anyway, I knew more than they learned going in. And I told them when I went in there, I already know how to drive. I had been driving for about 7 years at that time. 7, 8 years, something like that. And I took some time off and I just needed to take the course, so I had a truck to take the test in. And, well, nevertheless, I knew more about trucks than most of them learned in that short 3-week course that we were in. Nowadays, I think it's a 2-week course. And I'm sorry, but you cannot take somebody that has never drove a big truck in their life, put them in a week's worth of school, book learning, reading the rules and the regulations, and passing their written test, and put them in a truck for a week, and they go take the driver's test, get their license. Oh, I'm a truck driver. Wrong. I'm here to tell you, you are not a truck driver until you've been out on that road day in, day out for at least a year, at the very least. Then you start understanding what a lot of these kids coming out, these people coming out of these drug schools, most of them don't even know where their air dryer is. And I'm not talking doing your hair. A lot of them have never had to sit on the side of the road
Keep right,
and
then exit right.
pull a filter out, air dryer filter, blow it out just so that they can
Exit right.
get on down the road a little bit further. Wow. Did you see that guy? Why did he do that? Just like a no driving rascal.
Recomputing.
Yeah, you're gonna have to recompute. I can't go down there because there's a wreck down there, darn it. Okay, so we'll come up here, we'll go loopy-doo, do what we gotta do. Alright. Boy, I almost hit that car. But I've had to sit there and pound those things out. And they ain't fun. Because I tell you what, if you ain't got enough air in your tank, you can't blow them out, on the road. And you can't
Keep
build
right.
enough air because
Then
the
exit right.
air filter's dirty. So it's like the air dryer
Exit right.
filter's dirty. So you gotta sit there and pound it out and then get on down the road to where you can get it taken care of.
Go straight.
But a lot of
And
these
then
people
keep
don't
left.
even know where that is. And rarely
Keep left.
any of them ever
And then
blow
turn left.
their holding tanks out to release the air, to release condensation, simple draining. They don't teach none of that in them schools. No. That's one of them little surprises you learn on your own when your gauges, when your
Go straight.
air controls start acting up inside the truck and they don't want to work properly. Your gauges go crazy due to the condensation in your tank because you haven't drained your tank since you've been driving, and you've been driving, however long. But they don't teach that stuff. They just do not teach that stuff. And let's don't even get started on regulations.
Go straight.
Do you know that well, we're going to get on regulations a little bit. You know a big truck can have as many chicken lights as they want to. Chicken lights being the side marker lights that light up, let everybody know you're there. Alright, you can have as many of those on there as you want. But if one light goes out, just one,
Keep right.
and it don't matter where it's at, you could have 50 other lights surrounding that one light. That light goes out. Guess what? If they decide they want to, or you give them a hard time, or give them a reason to, work on you a little bit, they can put you out of service till that light's fixed. And if they put you out of service till that light gets fixed,
Turn right.
that doesn't mean that you get to drive that truck down to the repair shop. No, sir. If they put you out of service, they put you out of service. You sit there until somebody comes and fixes it. So, yeah.
Keep right. And then turn
Do
right.
you really want to mess with that?
Turn right.
There are so many things You go to work, you work 8, 10 hours a day. Okay? Now that you've been working 8, 10 hours a day, you drive your little old 25, 30 minutes, 45 minutes
Go straight.
till you get to the house. You go in, you sit down, you relax a minute, you get up, you go take you a bath, go grab you a bite to eat in any one of those orders. And when you get done, you watch a little
Go straight.
TV and hug and kiss on your wife. And then it's off to bed for a little bit. Get back up and you go do your thing. Right back to work. Well, truck driving, it just ain't that way. I go to work every day.
Keep left, and then turn left.
But I don't get paid for the whole day's work.
Turn left.
No. If I get 9 out of 10 times a driver is paid by the mile. Meaning every mile I drive I get a said sum. At the end of that day, or middle of that day,
Here we are.
I've got to pull
Kind of
over
on
and take a
time.
30-minute break within the first 8 hours. Now, it could be 5.5 hours, it could be 4 hours, it could be 7.5 hours, It can even be 7 hours and 45 minutes before I take that break. But in that first 8 hours of driving, I've got to take a 30-minute shutdown break. And I got to log it in my little book. Well, anymore it's all done by e-log. But back in the day, you had to write it all down in your comic book or log book, whichever way you want to look at it. Let's look at another short run here. And, okay, we in Brownsville. We'll look at short run. Oh, there ain't no real short runs. Let's see here. Austin is 300 miles. Huntsville is 400 miles. Uh, Houston's 360. Roswell's 700. Yeah, there ain't nothing short miles. Uh, well, 300 miles to Houston. 367. Alright, we'll do that one.
Let's go.
Alright, now where is that at? It's over here. Now, I take that break. And I don't get paid for that. Because I'm just sitting there. Or I'm at a way station or wherever and or get pulled over, whatever, and the police are
Let's do this.
running their check or whatever they're doing, playing tiddlywinks for all I know. And that time that I'm sitting there, I don't get paid for it. So Uh, by the time everything's said and done, well, I come close to them boxes. By the time everything's said and done, there's those Western Stars we just dropped off. By the time everything's said and done, we've been up doing something with that truck,
Turn right.
whatever it might be. Anywhere from 10 to 14 hours a day. And when the day's done, we don't just go home. Uh-uh. 9 out of 10 times when we get done, uh, when we get done, we're 4, 5, 600 miles away from home, 700 miles away from home when we get done. So what do?
Go
Well,
straight.
we log it in our little book and we crawl back here in that bunk. We go to sleep. I tell you what, life on the road is not cheap. Unless you stop somewhere and you buy you a loaf of
Go
bread,
straight.
some potted meat, peanut butter,
Keep left.
stuff
Then
like
turn
that.
left.
It's gonna cost
Turn
you
left.
an arm and a leg to go eat somewhere all the time. Wow, I turned that sharp. And that gets real expensive real quick just on food. So, and you don't go spend the night in a hotel, because if you do, these days that's another $150 a night. I'm here to tell you, you just don't make it much, especially if you
Keep
got
left.
a wife
Turn
and
left.
kids at home. This life ain't for a family, man.
Turn
Because
left.
to tell you, you're gone. There were times I would leave the house and I wouldn't see my wife, wouldn't see my kids. For sometimes 2 months. Then when I did get home, I wasn't sitting there at home for a week, week and a half, 2 weeks. No, I was there 1 to 3 days max. And I was back out on the road. So it's very hard on family life. I missed out a great deal on my own children's growing up. But it kept them fed. So,
Keep right. And then turn right.
used to be, now it's not
Turn
so
right.
much anymore, but it used to be, it was a requirement that all drivers had to have white sheets on their bunk. That's right. Do you know why? Well, it used to be if you seen an accident or whatever, Well, you had to have white sheets to dress the wounds. See, back in the day, you didn't just drive past an accident like you do today. You stopped and helped, especially if you were the person who was seeing
Go
the
straight.
accident or just rolled up on one and there wasn't no help there yet. Nobody had to tell you to stop. You stopped. Uh,
Keep right,
that's not so
and
much
then
these
turn
days.
right.
But back in the day, it
Turn
was a
right.
law that you had to have white sheets so that you could take care of the injured. Nowadays,
Keep left,
most people drive
and
past
then
them
exit
taking
left.
pictures. Uh,
Exit left.
the world has changed. The world done passed me up many years ago. I didn't even start getting into playing games, uh, working with a computer and stuff like that until I retired. Uh, driving truck never had time to play with all that stuff. Uh, a lot of the world, uh, you know, I'm out there doing my thing. I ain't got time to worry about what's going on in the world.
Keep left.
Yeah, time passed me up a long time ago. Uh, you'll notice watching my videos, listening to me talk, etc. Uh, you'll see I'm stuck in the 80s, mid to late 80s, I would guess. Uh, so a good thing sometimes. Is it a bad thing sometimes? Uh, but when it comes to trucks, one thing is universal, and that's one truck to the next. Uh, yeah, technology, they're easier to drive today than they were back in. There's a lot more regulations these days than there was back in. But all in all, it's still a good life for a single man, I guess. It's cheaper than trying to go to work and pay for a rent or property because your renting property is your truck, not your truck and a place for your family to live. You know, it's a very lonely life. Uh, you get a lot of big time. And, you know, just like the song says, we're all here just prisoners of our own device. Now, if you don't know what song that comes from, that's your problem. But I can't sing it, but I can say that because I'm not singing it. But if you really think about it, aren't we all in our own ways? I mean, you can't go nowhere without your little cell phone. your cell phone goes ding and you, oh, I gotta see who that was, what's going on. Uh, your TV, oh, I gotta see what the Kardashians are doing or what the whatever, you know. It's what do you want your prison to look like? What makes you happy? Well, driving makes me happy. If I could do it today, I would. Uh, I don't have the money to do it. But if somebody was to pay me enough money, and I don't mean millions of dollars, to where I could buy my food, buy my wife's food, and all we did was drive, and even just a pickup truck, all we did was just drive around, I'd be tickled death. But that ain't gonna happen, we all know that. But I've never been happier as I have behind the wheel of the truck. And that's just the long and short of it. Other things about driving a truck. You take your little car there, pickup, van, whatever it is you're driving, and you're going down a road and you have a flat tire. What do? You pull over, you get your spare out, and you change your tire. Not on a big truck. You gotta call somebody. A lot of trucks don't even carry a spare because they don't want the extra weight. And there's nothing they can do with it anyway. One tire and rim for a big truck can weigh anywhere from 160 to 300 pounds. One wheel and tire. And I'm sorry, you just don't jump out and fix that. You call somebody, you sit there on the side of the road, wherever it is you're at, and you wait. And you don't get paid for that, you're sitting there. Yeah. And you're sitting there 3 or 4, 8 hours waiting on somebody to come fix a tire. Now once that tire is fixed, you go on your way. But meanwhile, all that time you sit there twiddling your thumbs, watching the traffic go by, you don't get a penny. Now I hear that some companies pay you for that
Keep right,
these days.
then exit right.
I don't know about these days. I've been
Exit
retired going on 11 years.
Rerouting.
I like retired life. I don't have the money I used to have. A lot of times I wonder how I'm going to make it. But I've got a lot less headaches all in all. They come with big price tags. Okay, just because you see that guy out there in the truck, excuse me, and it's not a brand new truck, but it's a very nice truck. And he's out there, and it's not a company-owned truck. He's buying that truck. He's making the payments on that truck. Do you know that guy is just as poor as most of you, if not more so? Don't let that truck fool you. Yeah, that's a nice truck. But that nice truck is costing him nice money. Uh, a new truck these days will run you upwards 200,000 or
Keep
more.
right, and then exit right.
And then that truck's only actually good for about
Exit
7 years. Because most companies
Get ready to turn right.
don't want you to drive 10-year-old trucks or older.
Turn right.
There's a reason for that. Older vehicles break down more often. Just the nature of the beast. Parts wear out. Especially today, they don't build nothing where you can fix anything. You replace everything instead of fixing it. Back in the old day, you fix things. Anyway, that's why you, you're going to spend $200,000 on a truck, okay, just for a figure. Now you figure your monthly payment is going to be right around $2,000 or more. Then you got your fuel. Well, that could be $1,000 a week or more. Then you got your insurance. You got your state permits. Yes, you have to have a permit for every state you drive in. Then you got your license. Your license usually run you about $50 a year. Your driver's license. Then you got your tags on your truck. There's another $300 or $400. And you got to add all this in. So that little load you're carrying behind you pays you, well, let's just throw a crazy number out there. Say you get paid by the load, okay? The load pays $3,000, period. Well, somebody's got to find that load unless you're finding them yourself. Somebody's going to have to find that load for you. So they get their fee right off the top, which is usually about 30 to 40%. And you get the rest. Okay? You do the math. That's just that one little load. But I'm going to tell you right now, just to take that load, you had to drive 300 or 400 miles. And in that 300 or 400 miles, that's going to be about you got to add your monthly payment in there. So X has got to come out for your payment, then all your insurance, all your, yeah. Tells you real quick that load didn't pay you nothing in the grand scheme. A good rule of thumb, correct me if I'm wrong because I have been wrong before, but I would say a good rule of thumb is whatever you do in a big truck, you can figure, okay, I made $100.
Keep left.
Well, that's good. You made
Turn left.
$100.
Turn left.
You made $100. Good for you. That truck has to make at least $400 for you to make 100. Because that truck is going to require that $300 or $400. So that load that you just took for $500 is already spent, and you ain't even got the rest of it. You ain't got nothing else figured in. You just got fuel and what the truck needs. And a lot of people don't look at it that way. They look at, oh, $500. Yeah. What happens when you get down the road and you blow a tire? To have that tire replaced, I'm going to have to bring you a new tire. I'm going to have to put that tire on. When everything's said and done, you're looking at $500 to $800 on one blowout.
Go straight.
So you got to take your money and you've got to micromanage it. That's why I say the truck makes 60% of what you make. So if you made $100, that truck gets 60 of it. Now, does that mean every day, every time? No. The truck will not eat that much. But let's say you do 40 loads and you had no problems. We got to keep that money back for when you do have a problem. You have an alternator go out in a big truck, that's $1,000 bill right now. And I haven't even opened your hood yet. At a bare minimum, it's $1,000. And if you look at it that
Keep
way
left.
and understand it, anytime a mechanic has to be called, you figure, okay, that call just cost me $1,000 plus. So you got to take your money when you're owner operator, and you got two accounts. You got your account, you got the truck account. And the money you put in that truck account goes to pay everything to do with that truck, all the bills, the insurance, the fuel, everything. So yeah, that truck costs a lot of money, but it eats a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to keep that truck rolling. I was across this deal where you can register to win a truck, semi truck, brand spanking new. Still got the plastic on the seats. Well, it said,
Go straight.
win this truck or $90,000 cash. Your choice. If you win, only cost you $10, but if you win, the truck is worth $90,000. Now I'm just throwing a number out there because I don't remember, but it was pretty high. Anyway, I think I would take the 90,000 over the truck these days. Well, wait a minute, that's a brand new truck. Yeah. And it's going to cost me a good $90,000 to $100,000 a year just to run that truck. And that don't even put a driver in it. I don't even count the driver. And that $90,000 a year to run that truck only goes up. Cost me $90,000 to run it the first year, possibly even the second year. But as that truck gets about 3 years old, parts start wearing out. Alternators, belts, hoses. So the cost of that truck goes up. And the price I'll get for that truck goes down because the truck's getting older. So, yeah. At my age, I would just say, give me the money. And I'll just keep living like I'm living. I just won't have to worry as much. I'm getting to that age that, no, I don't want that headache. Well, I hit the brake a little hard, didn't I? I hit the brake hard because I know how this game acts. And a lot of times when AI
Finding new route.
Goes to make a lane change, they'll come to almost a complete stop, which is not realistic. Whoops, I followed that truck instead of watching what I was doing. I got back up. Get over here behind this guy. Hit my number. Hit the throttle, not the ignition. There we go. Now we'll get back on the road. Oh, well, we got 61 miles yet to go. We'll call it a video. I've done bored you enough, haven't I? Now, if you like it, subscribe. Hit that little bell notification. Give it a big thumbs up. And you can get that bell notification going. Get everything I bring when I bring it. Yes, you can. Alright. We're coming up Corridor 69 or I-69, however you want to call it. I've heard it called both. I think it's a bunch of mess anyway, because I've followed that so-called Corridor 69, and it's not 69 all the way. I mean, you hit all kind of roads, existing roads, like 59. Part of 59 coming out of Houston is considered Corridor 69. So,
Keep left,
yeah, it's
then
not
turn
like
left.
it's not like
Turn left.
45 or whatever. 45 is 45. 69
Keep right.
is not its own true highway like 45 is. 69 is just a combination of the different roads. Yeah. And for you northern people, it ain't like Interstate 80. It's Interstate 80. It's Interstate 80. It's Interstate 63, 12, 11, whatever. It's not its own. It borrows other highways to make a route. Well, that's what we've been doing all our lives. We didn't call it some other number just for the sake of a number. Come on. Okay, that's another story. That's a whole nother book. I'm just rattling on trying to make this last 18 miles so that
Keep right.
we all can finish this
And then
video.
turn right.
And one good
Turn
thing about my rattling on, everybody here knows me, because the only ones that matter anymore are my wife and them that are in my head. And I tell you what, sometimes what's in my head scares me. The places I've been, the things I've seen would stifle most people. Alrighty, it's
Keep right.
3:20.
And then turn right.
3:22 in the AM. We in Houston, Texas.
Turn right.
Oh shoot! I turned too soon. I thought that was the gate I was supposed to go in. And that happens a lot in truck driving, even today. You think you're where you're supposed to be and end up being where you're not supposed to be. I got to turn up here to the right. Go over about a block. All right. My button on my mouse that operates my turn signal is starting to wear out because it doesn't always register. All right, looks like we about here now, folks.
Get ready to turn left.
Get ready to turn left.
Turn left.
Turn left, dummy. Whoa! Wow! I almost pulled out in front of that car.
Finally, we are here.
Oh, I hate the Port of Houston, especially in the night. So I tell you what, when we get up here, we're going to take the quick park because it gets confusing in the daylight. Yes, it does. I know I haven't brought you a truck video in a while, but here's your truck video. Oh, where do they want this thing? Right there. Well, I don't know. It looks like an easy enough park. I might could park this thing. We'll give it a shot. We can't get it right off. We just gonna say the heck with it. Because I'm not gonna sit here and bore you with my back and self. Backing on up here. They're happy, I'm happy. Right now, y'all be careful, be kind. May God bless you and keep you. We're going to drop our trailer. We're going to shut our engine down. All right. We got 40. Now that's totally unrealistic. $40,000. $40,119. We got all our bonuses. We had an excellent run. 415 miles were driven. Took us a total of 8 hours and 49 minutes. We used 73.5 gallons of fuel. All right. We are now at level. Now we are a level 175. We're a driving champion. Oh boy. All right. Be careful. Be kind. And we'll talk to you next time.